So we're talking hormone health. Hormones are the messengers. They're the emissaries from the brain. Our whole world is interpreted to the inside of our body via the action of the hormones. It makes them really, really important. There's two kinds. You got water hormones and fatty hormones. The fatty hormones are also known as the steroid hormones. The fatty hormones are your stress management hormones and your growth and repair hormones and your fertility hormones. Biochemists and most people will call the fatty hormones your steroid hormones. These are all types of cholesterol, and I call them your cholesterol hormones. I think that's important to recognize that estrogen and testosterone and bile salts and, hey, Trevor, bro, be quiet over there. Let's see, where was I here? Progesterone, testosterone, estrogen, vitamin D for that matter. You know, vitamin D is a cholesterol hormone. Bile is a cholesterol substance. Bile is a type of cholesterol. That makes cholesterol, eating it or making it, very important for digestive health. Cholesterol is ridiculously important. If this program is remembered for anything, and if I'm remembered for anything, I want it to be for making it clear that cholesterol is your best friend, and anybody who tells you that you need to poison your cholesterol manufacturing system is not very biochemically savvy. That's what I want to be on my tombstone. That Ben Fuchs, Pharmacist Ben, spread the word about how vital and important cholesterol is and how unfairly maligned the molecule is. I don't mean unfairly to the molecule. I mean unfairly to us. It is maligned at our peril. The fact that we think we have to take a drug to suppress our cholesterol just shows how bamboozled we are by people who know nothing about biochemistry, at least in this case, know nothing about biochemistry. Or worse, who are exploiting the ignorance that we have about biochemistry. Anyway, cholesterol is our best friend, our best biochemical friend. Yes, I'm going to go out on a limb. There's a lot of good biochemicals in the body. There's a lot of important biochemicals in the body. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's none more important than cholesterol. The fact that the steroid hormones are all types of cholesterol and require essential fatty acids for their production makes eating fat really important. Not processed fat, not trans fat, not hydrogenated fat, but quality fats from butter and avocados and nuts. And even grains, for that matter, have quality fats in them if they're not over-processed or if they're not processed. Grains actually are pretty darn good foods when it comes down to it, except for one problem. They got things in them that make them anti-nutritional. Gluten in particular, and gluten-like substances, but others as well. But other than that, grains are great sources of the B vitamins, great sources of protein, great sources of zinc, and great sources of fats. They're pretty much the major source of omega-6 essential fats. So making sure that we're eating enough fat and making sure that we're absorbing our fat. It's not just eating fat. And by the way, I'm not saying that grains are necessarily something you want to eat. I'm just saying from a chemistry standpoint, they've got wonderful nutritional value. Unfortunately, you got to be careful with them. Now, it's not just eating fats as important as it is to eat avocados and get your fish oil or fish and grains, etc., nuts. But you got to absorb your fats too. And absorbing your fats means you got to have a healthy liver. It means you got to have a healthy intestine. If you got Crohn's disease, celiac disease, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, if you're bloated, you feel bloated after you eat certain foods, if you feel bloated after sugary foods or starchy foods, chances are pretty good you're not going to be absorbing your fats. If you've had your gallbladder taken out, chances are really good you're not going to be absorbing your fats. For the life of me, I cannot figure out why people are still doing this barbaric surgical procedure. Unless you have a miserable emergency, obviously then you got to do what you got to do. But other than that, man, your gallbladder is so darn important. So anyway, you got to not just take your fats, you got to make sure you're eating your fats. And this is all to maximize the action of progesterone and estrogen and testosterone and your youth and fertility hormones. If you're aging rapidly, focus on fats. If your skin is thinning, focus on fats. If your bones are thinning, focus on fats. All of these health challenges, breakdowns, if you will, are associated with either a lack of fats or lack of fat absorption via this hormone connection. Supplement with your EFAs. I'm telling you, if you want to pick one, aside from the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, if you want to pick one multifunctional supplement, I can't think of one that would be more important than the essential fatty acids. Yeah, the enzymes, ultimate enzymes are multifunctional. The biolumin nightly essence and the Fucoid Z are multifunctional, but EFAs are essential. That means you can't live without them, and they're incredibly multifunctional. If you had to pick one supplement to take, in addition to one essential nutrient to take, in addition to the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, I would be using essential fatty acids and your ultimate EFAs or your EFA pluses. And you can't take too many of them, by the way. 9 a day is a good starting point. You could take 18 a day easily. And use your ultimate EFAs with foods. Take your ultimate EFAs with some food, because you got to maximize absorption, and there has to be some digestive juices percolating in there, bile particularly. So take your EFAs with foods, especially fatty foods. All right, I'll tell you about some of the signs of EFA deficiency that you didn't know were signs of EFA deficiency when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Earthquake, floods, winter storms, prolonged power outages, or war. Each of us have had that moment when we recognize that we need to be better prepared. We typically do the same thing. We start with food storage, then we address the need for water. But have you considered heat storage? I'm talking about staying warm in the cold. Here are some things for you to consider. How will I keep my family warm? The standard answers are firewood, coal, or propane. But the problem with that, if you need to be on the move, is you can't take it with you. Another concern, there may come a time when you need to stay warm without smoke, like in times of war. There may even come a time when you can't burn fuel. The answers may be simpler and less costly than you think. For these answers, go to fortressclothing.com. Again, fortressclothing.com has the answers to your heat storage dilemma. Don't get stuck in the cold. fortressclothing.com. You'll never be cold again.
It's time to kick some ash because cigarettes have met their match. Smokers are switching to Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig because when you kick ash, you kick tar and smelly smoke too. LeSig smokes the competition with real people customer service, a 7-day satisfaction guarantee, and same-day fast free shipping. Become a vapor today at LeSig.com, spelled LECIG.com. LeSig e-cigarettes. Kick some ash.
There are hundreds of silver products on the market today, but there's nothing like the astonishing health benefits of the multi-patented One Silver Solution. Boost your immune system at a great price with our Silver Solution Liquid, starting at $12.95 a bottle. Now available in regular and extra strength. That's half the price of the leading competitors. Call 844-USILVER for your free catalog, or go to onesilversolution.com. Onesilversolution.com. There is only one Silver Solution.
It's time to kick some ash because cigarettes have met their match. Smokers are switching to Vaporite e-liquid by LeSig because when you kick ash, you kick tar and smelly smoke too. LeSig smokes the competition with real people customer service, a 7-day satisfaction guarantee, and same-day fast free shipping. Become a vapor today at LeSig.com, spelled LECIG.com. LeSig e-cigarettes. Kick some ash.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc admitted in Mass only. Sokolov Law LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Ken Levin, responsible attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Greg Hobby, New Jersey. The choice of lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been impacted by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-218-HELP. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of hardworking men and women, including many U.S. veterans and industrial workers, have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers knew the dangers but put profits ahead of people. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trust has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be entitled to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-218-HELP. That's 1-800-218-HELP.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sam Nussbaum with the Anthem Foundation. Premature birth is the leading cause of death of babies and disabilities for children. That's why we support the March of Dimes to help mothers have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment and outreach to help moms during their pregnancy and give every baby a healthy start in life. Learn how you can help at marchofdimes.org.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Okay, so if you're thinking about supplementing and you want to start a supplement program, definitely start off with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If you don't want to do the whole Healthy Start Pack, definitely start off with the BTT. But after the BTT, it's the ultimate EFAs. Those are probably, it's hard to say, but a good case could be made that those are the two most important things to start off with. Start your nutritional supplement program off with if you want to just dip your toe in the water. That's because of the incredible multifunctionality of both of those products. The BTT contains all your water-soluble nutrients, and the EFAs, of course, are your major fat-soluble essential nutrients. Between the BTT and the EFAs, you're going to meet much of your, not all, but much of your nutritional needs, your essential nutrient needs. You can tell you got an EFA problem if you're dealing with several health issues. Now, these aren't the only things, but there's a few ways that you can tell you got a deficiency either in absorption or intake, taking them in supplemental fashion, or you're not absorbing them. If you have dry skin, for the life of me, I can't figure out why hasn't dawned on us that our crisis of dry skin is not a skincare product problem. We got so many skincare products out there, moisturizing skincare products, so-called moisturizing skincare products that are really nothing but water and wax and oil and filler. And I'm telling you this as somebody who's been formulating those exact kinds of products for 32 years. You won't believe how ridiculously easy and simple and useless a moisturizing product is from a formulating perspective. You take some water, you take some wax, you take some oil, and you mix it all up with what's called an emulsifying agent, and voila, you got yourself a moisturizer. It costs about a penny for a pound or more of it if you buy it in bulk. Throw in some preservative, throw in some fragrance, slap a label on it, and you got yourself a moisturizing cream. There's nothing about it that's moisturizing. But the reason we use these products is because we're so desperate because our skin is so dry en masse as a culture. It's not just us, it's the whole world. Our skins are dry largely because of problems with fats, especially EFAs. Again, intake or absorption. If you have dry skin, you can pretty much rest assured you're dealing with an EFA deficiency, at least partially an EFA deficiency. If you crave fatty foods, if you have menstrual cramps or PMS issues, if you're a woman, thinning skin is another possible sign of EFA deficiency. Thinning blood vessels is another sign of EFA deficiency. Thinning bones is another sign of potential EFA deficiency. Why are all these thinning problems, thinning issues associated with EFA deficiency? Because EFAs turn on the production of proteins. They're like igniters. At the genetic level, they are the classic epigenetic factor. Epigenetics is the science of all of the things that turn on the genetics. This is the problem with the genetic theory. That's why Doc Wallach has been saying for years that it's baloney. And anybody who really understands how genetics works knows that our mythology, our understandings about genetics as a culture are mythological. Genes turn on and off, and they turn on and off based on the environment. This is so important. Read Bruce Lipton, The Biology of Belief, classic book. Probably many of you have heard of this. Genes turn on and off based on the environment, and the environment is partially determined by these vitamins and nutrients and essential factors. They're called epigenetic factors. And the genes are reading these epigenetic factors to determine what should be turned on and off, or what should happen, basically. So genetics is obviously the fundamental aspect of how we're made up, but genetics are turned on and off by the environment the genetics, i.e. the cell, is sitting in, and that includes essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids turn on like a switch, turn on like ignite, like a match, whatever metaphor you want to use. They turn on the production of protein. That means without them, your skin is going to be thin. Without them, your bones are going to be thin. Without them, your blood vessels are going to be thin. Thinning is associated with EFA deficiency. Get on your EFAs and your fatty vitamins as well. Make sure you're absorbing them if you notice that your skin is thinning as you get older. I can always tell by looking at someone if they're having an EFA problem, either intake or absorption, by looking at their skin. You can too. If it's crepey, and probably women know what I'm talking about. As we get older, our skin turns crepey and thin, and there ain't no moisturizer on the planet that's going to change that, by the way. If you want a topical ingredient, think vitamin C and vitamin A. That's basically why I created The Truth, was to allow allow women especially, but all of us really, to have access to the two major topical nutrients for thickening the skin, for making the skin, as I like to say, beefy, bouncy, for giving it texture. Essential fatty acids are key players in skin health and blood vessel health and bone health and all connective tissue health. If you're trying to get pregnant, essential fatty acids are unbelievably helpful. In fact, I would venture to say EFA deficiency may be at least partially related to our epidemic of infertility. That's because of the relationship between cells. Cells have to communicate to each other, especially in pregnancy, especially in fertilization. Think about what pregnancy really is. Pregnancy is really one cell or two cells combining, forming one cell, and then that cell divides. And as that cell divides, it creates more and more and more cells. Eventually you've got hundreds and then thousands and then billions and then trillions of cells, and all those cells have to talk to each other. They have to communicate to each other. And communication between cells, whether it's when the baby is being built or whether it's when a sperm meets an egg in what we call conception or fertilization, that is a communication kind of issue. It's a relationship issue. The two cells, the mother's egg cell and the father's sperm cell, are communicating to each other. And when the baby's growing and developing, all the cells are communicating to each other. And here is the take-home message. Cells communicate membrane to membrane. Cells communicate membrane to membrane. It's how they talk to each other via membrane to membrane interactions. So anytime you want to build something in the body, whether it's a baby or whether it's tissue in an organ, the membranes of the cells are going to play a key role. And guess what? The membrane is largely made up of essential fatty acids. So if you're trying to get pregnant, EFAs can play a major role in helping in improving the odds of fertilization. Pregnancy is about the relationship between cells. You got sperm and egg cell. Those got to interact with each other. Fertilization. And then you have the building of a baby, which is also a cell-to-cell phenomena. By the way, egg cells are really interesting. You know, a woman is born with all of her egg cells, and over the course of time, as they drop out, you get less and less egg cells. That's kind of an interesting phenomena. It has a lot to do with all of our mating rituals we have in this culture. We don't get that many egg cells. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You are listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back. The team help spread the word about the importance of a good nutritional supplement program. Change lives, really. A lot of folks haven't heard. The ideas we take for granted. If you're listening to this program, trust me, if you listen to this program, you are taking for granted a lot of information that we assume that everybody knows, but they don't necessarily know. And you can help spread the word. You can help share what you take for granted in terms of essential fatty acids, in terms of having your gallbladder not removed or having your gallbladder removed, taking a statin drug. These are all ideas that we talk about here on The Bright Side and that you guys have heard probably a million times, but the vast majority of people have not heard this. I just got back from New York City. There's so many things that people in New York don't know because that's the belly of the beast, as it were, of the pharmaco-medical model. And they are still entrenched in the standard dogma of modern medicine about lowering your cholesterol and taking statin drugs and having organs removed, et cetera, et cetera. It's not even just that, because that happens everywhere, but they really trust the doctor. They really believe in their doctors. And that's what most of the world, most of the planet, most of this country is really like. And this is one of the things that we're dedicated to, those of us in Longevity, is helping spread the word about the new ideas, which aren't really new ideas, but new to the culture, about using nutritional supplements, about using at-home strategies like deep breathing and hot water and eating less food and intermittent fasting, etc. I'm sure you guys heard this article or read this article that came out yesterday. Sausages, ham cause cancer. Red meat probably too. Meat causes cancer. Everybody's been talking about, at least in the world of health. Listen, meat doesn't cause cancer. Nothing causes cancer. Cancer is a cancer cell that is stressed out beyond its limits. It doesn't know what else to do. Nothing causes cancer, unless maybe radiation. That's about the only thing that literally causes cancer. So this nonsense about meat causing cancer is based on a United Nations finding. It was based on a review of 800 studies that quote, found sufficient evidence in humans that consumption of processed meat causes colorectal cancer. Now, what does that really mean? It means they analyzed a bunch of studies, and they found that it turns out that if people said they ate a lot of meat, they had a tendency to get cancer. But not everybody did. There were certainly people there who ate hot dogs and sausages who didn't get cancer. So if these things cause cancer, how come some people don't get cancer when they interact with them? Well, clearly there's something else going on. Obviously, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that if some people eat sausage and hot dogs and corned beef and beef jerky and they don't get cancer, well, obviously there must be some other factors involved, and there is. Nothing causes cancer by itself. It has to happen in an environment of stress, an environment of burden. And that's where the problem comes from. Most of us have an environment inside our bodies that are maxed out in terms of toxicity and in terms of ability to handle that toxicity. And then you throw in sausage, and that's where you run into a problem. But it's not the sausage that causes the cancer. And read scientific articles where they say this causes cancer. Nothing causes cancer except, as I say, maybe if you irradiate a cell, that itself isn't causing the cancer, that's creating a stress on the cell. A cancer cell is a stressed out cell. That's all you need to know about cancer. Now, how you take care of it involves de-stressing the cell with nutrition, with oxygen, and with detoxification. Anyway, I didn't want to digress there, but that just caught my attention from yesterday. As far as eggs go, which we were talking about before we went to break, eggs, a woman has all her eggs when she's born, and there's a scarcity around eggs, and this accounts for a lot of our dating rituals and mating rituals that we have in this culture. There's a scarcity in eggs. There's lots of sperm around, but there ain't a lot of eggs. And throughout history, eggs have been really valued, and the carriers of eggs as well, for better or worse, as women will tell you. The fact that your egg is a cell, it's actually an egg cell, is very, very interesting when it comes to nutrition. And I'll tell you what I mean by that tomorrow as we continue talking about hormone health and nutritional strategies for dealing, nutritional supplemental strategies for dealing with hormones and improving hormone health. All right, time to hit the phones. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Nancy in Tennessee. What's going on, Nancy? Welcome to the bright side.
Hi, Ben. It's been a while since I talked to you about my grandson, Ben.
How's he doing?
And his little boils and cysts on his face.
Right.
He's done well. He's 2.5 now. And
hang on. No, I want to talk to you about that. So he had boils and cysts on his face, and you say he's doing well. That means he has less boils and cysts, no boils and cysts, improvement in the...
He still has one that will not go away.
Okay, but there's you notice that there's going away. There's less than there were before we started the program.
There have been.
Okay, so you noticed an improvement. He's trending in the right direction.
Correct.
Okay, what did you do? Tell me what you did.
Okay, she did the elimination diet.
Okay,
She kept a food diary. And
what did she find out?
Definitely dairy.
What did she find out about dairy? I don't mean to interrupt you, but just sure. I want everybody to hear this, because Nancy, again, you're gonna, we take for granted that these things work, but listen, Nancy, is there any medicine that could have done that? Is there any doctor strategy that could have done what you accomplished by yourself with these ideas? That's so huge. Mm-hmm. I want everybody to really savor this case study. Basically is what happened with Nancy. Nancy called a couple of months ago. Her grandson had boils and cysts on the face. Boils and cysts are always a response, an immune response. Something is getting into the body. That means food. So Nancy did the elimination diet, and now voila, 2 months later, only one cyst is left, trending upwards. There's no medicine on planet Earth that could have done it, no dermatologist that could have done it, no insurance program, no nothing, and Nancy did it herself. That's huge, Nancy. Now there's one left, so we're going to work on that. So anyway.
It's bigger. It's actually not, okay, it's flat under his skin. You feel it. It's very soft. It's about the size of a dime.
It's underneath the skin. It's not raised, in other words?
It is. Well, it's under the skin. You can feel it under the skin. It's not hard. It's very soft and mushy. And it sort of looks like a bruise on the outside of his skin. Okay. And the doctors are calling it a cyst now.
Okay. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. The system is not growing correctly, period. That's all you need to know, whether it's a boil, whether it's a cyst. Skin cells are not growing correctly, and there's inflammation there probably from a toxic lymphatic system. That's a circulatory system for poison, if you will. That's very simplistic. But in terms of boils and cysts, the lymph is delivering poisons, and when poisons are clogging that up, it's not moving correctly, they'll pool in the skin, and that's what that's where you're going to get the boils and cysts. At least that's partially the cause of it. So it's a poison issue. It's a clogging issue. Now, if you already noticed some foods that are causing problems, there may be other ones that you haven't noticed, and it's only been a couple of months and you're trending in the right direction, so it may be that that will go away as well. Continue with looking vigilantly for foods. Obviously, the ones you found you want to eliminate. You don't want them eating, but continue looking for others. Then do other things for the digestive system. Is he on probiotics, a good probiotic supplement? Nance?
Yes, he's on a probiotic.
Okay,
Hello.
hang on. We got to take a break. Don't go away, Nancy. We'll finish up when we come back. If you're on hold, we'll get to you as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. All right, we're back on The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Nancy in Tennessee about boils and cysts. And by the way, when we came back from our last break, we were talking about meat. I didn't mean to say meat is necessarily quality food, processed meat, because it's not quality food. It's a big problem food. But the idea that it causes cancer is not really an accurate statement, and it's very misleading. What causes cancer is an unhealthy body. What causes cancer is a stressed out cell that doesn't know what else to do. And cancer is not an invasion. I heard Joe Biden talking about cancer earlier. He said, I know we can beat cancer. I know we can cure cancer. There's this idea that you can inject or drug or vaccinate yourself free of cancer. Cancer is just a response. It's the way the body handles and the cells handle being burnt out, being stressed out, not having enough nutrition, being toxic. And sugar counts as a toxin, by the way, and not having enough oxygen. All right, Nancy, boils and cysts are underneath the skin. They start off underneath. A boil is apparent on the top, and a cyst may be apparent on the top, but they start off underneath. By the time it's on the top, it's over. Nobody can handle a boil or cyst on the top unless they inject it with something, and just to help the body fight it. But the problem is underneath. Make sense, Nancy?
Yes.
Okay, so you look at the skin, and it's hard to tell from looking, but underneath is this dynamic, vast network of circulation, of lymph, and of blood, and of nerves, and lots happening under there. When that gets clogged up, a boil shows up, and it gets clogged up when we're toxic. It's really as simple as that. Nothing clogs it up. Nothing is going to cause the circulatory system to clog up unless it's toxicity. So you're dealing with a toxicity issue, and that means the digestive system. It's as simple as that. Now, it may mean two things. You already did the elimination. I would continue with that. But it may be that his gut is not strong, and that always points to the bacteria. You said he's on a probiotic supplement, but that doesn't always do it. What is he using?
We have a Mercola powder probiotic.
How many bacteria in it, and how much?
It has 60 billion.
60 billion units per dose?
Per packet,
And then different bacteria?
He's only about 35 pounds, so he gets...
Okay, that's good. That's good. But how many different types of bacteria? Hang on a minute. 10 types? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so, and Mercola, I'm not necessarily a big fan of Mercola, but he seems pretty reputable, so you shouldn't have a problem there. Here's the thing with probiotics. Different brand, the body responds to different brands differently. So you may want to play around with that. Also make sure he's eating fermented food. If he has any problems with specific types of foods, using digestive enzymes for fats, for example, can help. Grinding up his foods might help as well. Helping him process foods is where I would go. It does sound like a digestive problem, especially if he has a history that way. So using the probiotics, using the Healthy Start Pack, making sure that you're making it easy for him to process his foods by using soups and smoothies and juices, vegetable juices. In addition to the ultimate enzymes, which you might want to take with meals, using raw foods can get him enzymes as well. Raw veggies can get him enzymes. If he has a problem eating those, use lots of salt in spices and oil or butter, coconut oil or butter. That makes the veggies more palatable, sometimes braising them very, very slightly, but you want to be careful because that'll kill the enzymes. You may also want to experiment with bile salts, B-I-L-E, bile salts, extra. They're in the ultimate enzymes, but extra. And also maybe some lecithin granules. Sprinkle those on certain foods, especially fatty foods, and that might help him. Or you give him some lecithin granules in water after meals. That might help him absorb as well. Look at the digestive system, Nancy.
Another thing. Okay, his mom is, she gets worried when he has an active breakout, which he does right now on his elbow.
Yeah.
And so she took him to the pediatrician, who prescribed antibiotic. He said it is a staph infection that's in his body, and he's had it for
You were just trying to make me mad? You're just trying to get me angry here?
I know.
What's the point here?
And he needs to have this antibiotic to get this.
What are you telling me?
Really go for his system. He's on the antibiotic. He had two more come up since he's been on the antibiotic. And
what are you trying to do? Raise my blood pressure here, Nancy?
It's not me, believe me.
No, I mean, I don't care.
Hard.
This is stupidity, but hang on, Nancy. This is stupidity of the highest degree, and I don't know what else I can say about it. He's already got a digestive problem. Now you're killing off his bacteria even worse, and he gets more problems. So where does the pediatrician, like a wizard? Where do we get the idea that the pediatrician knows anything? Where does this come from? Because they told us? Oh, we know stuff. So obviously he doesn't. I don't know what else to tell you. If he's on antibiotics, he needs probiotics even more. So when he's done with his antibiotics...
Double dose it?
Double dose, absolutely.
Double dose it.
And also fermented foods, but not with the antibiotics, because the antibiotics will kill the probiotics. Sure. So you got to give it a break.
Yes.
Okay?
And I know that can become resistant. The staph
of course.
is resistant
Of course
bacteria.
it can become resistant.
Yeah, I know.
It's craziness. It's craziness, Nancy.
I know.
I'm telling you. Okay.
And she gets scared, and they play on your fear.
Fear is never your friend under any circumstances. False evidence appearing real. Take action. You don't have to be scared. When you take action, you eliminate fear. All right, I got to go, Nance. Thanks for your call.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Okay, Caroline in Washington, what is up?
Hi. I wanted to talk about iodine, but I wanted clarification on why you thought gluten was a problem with grains when I've been reading so much about glyphosate.
They're all problems. They're all problems. I don't know what you're asking me. What do you mean? Tell me what your question is. Because gluten is a problem. They're both problems.
Well, I don't think you mentioned it, did you?
I didn't mention glyphosate, no. Glyphosate is a nasty, nasty, nasty fertilizer substance, and it is true. It's on all crops, not just grains. Look, what are you going to do, Caroline? We have really mucked up our system. And just because it's organic doesn't mean there's no glyphosate there either, because it's in the water supply. And it's in the ground, for that matter. So it's everywhere. We're the dumbest species on planet Earth. Look what we do. We crap in our water and then drink it. So
it's called population control. But anyway,
yes,
I had been taking thyroid over the years. It's a naturoid from a naturopath.
Okay, is it glandular?
It has never helped me over the years.
Well, let me tell you about that. You want to talk about that real quick? About thyroid, or you have a question?
Well, I quit taking it.
Okay, well, you're smart. Here's the thing about thyroid, and even naturopaths fall for this baloney. If you have a thyroid problem and you take a glandular, what you'll be doing is you'll be replacing the hormones, but you're not going to be fixing your thyroid. Do you see what I'm saying? The logic is, the thyroid's not working, so we'll give hormones to imitate it. Well, that doesn't help. Your thyroid is still sick. You see what I'm saying? We're not helping the thyroid, we're just imitating the hormones.
Well, I agree. It didn't help a bit.
It doesn't help. It doesn't even make sense, though, is my point. Of course it doesn't help. You're experiencing the utter impotency of these ideas as a patient. But then I want us to take a step back and say, why would we even think it would work? Synthroid, which is one of the best-selling, maybe periodically it's the best-selling drug in America. Not just Synthroid, but thyroid medication in general. So obviously we got a problem. And pharmacists will all tell you that it is notoriously ineffective. The dose has to change. They probably change. If you're on, it doesn't sound like you're on Synthroid, but when people are on these kinds of drugs, they have to keep manipulating the dose because you're not doing anything for the thyroid. You're just trying to imitate the hormones. What you want to do if you have a thyroid problem, hypothyroidism, is you want to do two things. Number one is you need to calm the body down. The thyroid goes hypo, or low, performing when the adrenals are hyped up. The second thing is you got to work on food, because a lot of hypothyroidism is autoimmune. So between food and relaxing the body, Caroline, you have your major strategies for dealing with thyroid issue. Okay, so if you have, you're hypothyroid, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So chances are good that you're dealing with Hashimoto's. Did they mention that to you?
They thought it wasn't bad enough to call it that.
Well, okay, whatever. It's an autoimmune issue. Whatever, bad enough or good enough, it's still an autoimmune issue. Autoimmune, whenever you hear the word immune in a disease, and autoimmune obviously counts, you're looking at a digestive problem. I'm not just saying that because I'm a food Nazi or I'm some kind of health nut. I'm saying it just because it's chemistry. Immune system is located in the digestive tract. So if you have an immune problem, by definition, you have a digestive problem. Does that make sense, Caroline?
Right.
So focus on foods, elimination diet, all the things we just talked about, elimination diet, probiotics, digestive enzymes. I know I repeat myself, but these are all fundamental ideas for everything. And then the second thing you want to do, Caroline, is calm the body down. Hypothyroidism typically will follow too much adrenalism. That's your stress gland. So calming the body down. This is why women, by the way, after menopause are at high risk for hypothyroidism, because their adrenals are frying. Why? Because they're off making, they don't have enough cholesterol, and the adrenals are trying to handle the entire system, the stress of menopause, and now the thyroid starts to slow down when the adrenals are freaking out. So work on the adrenal. Iodine?
I bought some nascent iodine, and I've been taking 3 drops a day, hoping that'd help that and my dry mouth at night.
Well, that's cute, but that's not the answer. You need iodine.
Really?
I'm not saying, you need iodine. I'm not marginalizing or dismissing the importance of iodine. It's vitally important, but it's not a magic remedy for the thyroid. You got to work on the immune system, which is the digestive system, and you got to calm the body down. Caroline, call me tomorrow. We'll finish up if you like. I got to go. That's the end of the program. Thanks for listening, friends. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back at you tomorrow on the bright side. Take care. Have a wonderful, awesome, spectacular day. Bye for now.
Your house is under attack. Every day, our homes and families are attacked by harmful gases, mold, and pollutants caused by everyday activities. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 5 to 100 times worse than outdoor air. And the American Lung Association states that poor indoor air can cause infections and chronic lung diseases such as asthma. Protect your family with a complete indoor air quality package from Wave Home Solutions. Wave ventilation units for basements and crawl spaces reduce moisture that nourishes mold, odors, dust mites, and expels gases and pollutants. Add the Wave 6-stage air purifier to get rid of the viruses, chemicals, and pollutants upstairs for a complete indoor air quality solution. A healthy home is the best investment you can make. Visit wavehomesolutions.com. That's wavehomesolutions.com or call 888-758-WAVE. That's 888-758-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Atmospheric aluminum, mercury exposure, estrogen toxins from plastics, microwaves from cell phones and smart meters, and low-quality foods all combine to create conditions for the very high incidence of disease in our society. Now more than ever, we all need to be consuming those foods and herbs that epigenetically signal the cells of our body to produce energy, create proteins, and detoxify. When we properly support our bodies, then even in these toxic times, we can promote and achieve excellent health. One World Whey is the first energetically encoded whey protein food derived from Amish pastured cows on the U.S. market. After 3.5 years, we've heard miracles occur for so many people. One World Whey has a track record of promoting detoxification, improvement in elimination, and improvements in energy, skin quality, and elimination of inflammation. One World Whey is formulated to mirror the macronutrient ratios found in mother's milk. Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Your house is under attack. Every day, our homes homes and families are attacked by harmful gases, mold, and pollutants caused by everyday activities. According to the EPA, indoor air can be 5 to 100 times worse than outdoor air, and the American Lung Association states that poor indoor air can cause infections and chronic lung diseases such as asthma. Protect your family with a complete indoor air quality package from Wave Home Solutions. Wave ventilation units for basements and crawl spaces reduce moisture that nourishes mold, odors, dust mites, and expels gases and pollutants. Add the Wave 6-stage air purifier to get rid of the viruses, chemicals, and pollutants upstairs for a complete indoor air quality solution. A healthy home is the best investment you can make. Visit wavehomesolutions.com. That's wavehomesolutions.com or call 888-758-WAVE. That's 888-758-WAVE.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs believes virtually all disease states can be backtracked to digestive problems.
Deficiencies in stomach acid can affect all downstream systems. Taking digestive enzymes can be amazingly helpful for dealing with deficiencies in stomach acid. Enzymes require low pH for activation. You can also use aloe vera juice, by the way. Sugars in aloe vera have a coating effect on the digestive system. Longevity has a cool product called Noni Plus, which is made from aloe and the noni fruit. It's tasty. It can also function to support digestive acidification of the stomach, and activation of digestive enzymes.
Take Pharmacist Ben's advice and support your digestive system by ordering Noni Plus from Longevity. Call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
If you're like me, you're concerned about the stock market and the economy. You're asking the questions, but it just doesn't seem that you're getting the right answers. Well, my friends at the Wealth Preservation Institute not only have the answers, but they've put together a free report, How to Survive the Upcoming Economic Collapse and Protect Your 401ks, IRA savings, and retirement income. Don't hesitate. This report's for free for a limited time by calling 888-772-2929. That's 888-772-2929. Take back your financial lives today.